There were two attacks, one in Qatif in Saudi Arabia against a mosque, a Shia mosque, where people were killed and injured. Another one in Sana'a with similar groups committing such a crime. Does the United Nations have any statement on that?
You'd asked about Saudi Arabia. I have the following statement attributable to the spokesman for the Secretary General on the terrorist attack in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The Secretary General condemns, in the strongest terms, the terrorist attack today targeting a Shia mosque in the town of Al-Qudaya in the eastern province of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The attack caused many deaths and injuries as people were gathering for Friday prayers. The Secretary General stresses that such attacks on places of worship are abhorrent and intended to promote sectarian conflict. He hopes that the perpetrators will be swiftly brought to justice. The Secretary General extends his sincere condolences to the families of the victims and expresses his sympathies to the government and people of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Our humanitarian colleagues report continued damage to civilian buildings and infrastructure in Yemen. The deliberate or indiscriminate destruction of civilian infrastructure during conflict is against international humanitarian law and must stop. All parties to the conflict have an obligation to protect civilians and civilian infrastructure from the effects of attacks. In Sada City, preliminary UN satellite imagery analysis has identified widespread damage to infrastructure. 4 medical facilities were identified within 100 meters of damaged and destroyed buildings. Also, in Harada district, in the Haja Governorate, a warehouse that contained hygiene kits, water, and sanitation supplies was damaged in an airstrike.
Do you have any update on the transfer of aid to is there any progress with regard or smoothing of delivery of aid to the inhabitants?
Yeah, of course we're trying to provide aid to the inhabitants. Along those lines, of course we've been asked in recent days about an Iranian cargo ship carrying aid. What I can say on that is an Iranian cargo ship is expected to berth in the port of Djibouti, carrying what we understand is 2,500 tons of humanitarian aid, a contribution from the government and people of Iran for conflict-affected people in Yemen. We've been informed that the Iranian ship's cargo includes 1,200 metric tons of rice, 700 tons of wheat flour, and 400 tons of canned fish, as well as medicine, water, tents, and blankets. The cargo will be handed over to the World Food Programme in Djibouti and will be transferred to WFP-chartered vessels for shipment to the Yemeni ports of Hodeidah and or Aden, where it will be delivered to humanitarian partners on the ground for distribution to people in need.